and then they put together a panel. It's not done that quickly. Then they make an apology 3 days later, way down the back of the article, or Daily Telegraph's face, page 39 in a small corner. They don't do this, and everyone agreed that didn't make sense, and it wasn't right. That one, I'm afraid, is not ignorant. Somebody from above the ABC would manage to get that off within an hour and a half of being put there and completely destroyed the whole thing. A couple of people in our group managed to capture the first website article before they destroyed that again, and you can't even find it now.
Wow.
Now, if that isn't a conspiracy, my friend, I don't know what is. But I'm still, again, trying to find a way around that maybe it was just utter ignorance. But for that one, no.
Yeah,
Somebody was involved to make sure that evidence didn't get out. Because you're right, it does change a perspective, a really important perspective on the history not only of this country but other countries, because it does start to open up. Do we have laser cutting up and carry on? Do we have technology that should never be there? The answer is, of course we do. Are we ready to talk about that and acknowledge that there may be a complete different history to humanity? And maybe, as we've said many times, that we gave the original people their genes and their culture was exported all over the world, and we believe until about 5,000 or 6,000 years ago the whole of the planet was living under the precepts of the dreaming, where you can't invade another country, you can't walk on there without permission. If you do fight, you find an agreed place, then it's called off when it's finished. No one steals anything, your history stays intact. All those things take place, and yes, they still fought anyway, but there was honour. Now, that was the way we all lived, where everybody owned their own tribal estate and was in contact with the gods, and that's the way we lived all the way. That's the way humanity was. And maybe we saw peaks in technology where sometimes we fell away, and maybe Atlantis had got too messy and the whole thing was destroyed and we went back to the same way of living. But it could be, and when Akhenaten took the Egyptians back out and said, take your clothes off and we're going to worship one God, he was reinstating the precepts of the dreaming again in a sedentary society. Maybe it didn't work. Maybe that was the only attempt. But before the sedentary plough, money, division of ownership, before that took place, maybe we are meant to be cooperative, spiritual human beings, not aggressive pieces of shit that spend half our money every day on finding ways to kill or protect ourselves from being killed. Maybe this is a nightmare. And I think that's one of the two reasons why the Australian government is not keen for this story to get into mainstream, because it challenges some paradigms and assumptions of us as human beings. Instead of Darwinian survival of the fittest, maybe we should be looking at something where we're cooperative spiritual beings are the only way we did survive. And in the last 5,000 years they started making up stories and excuses for the mess they started creating.
Wow.
Or maybe not. That's just an opinion. Got no archaeology on that one, but sometimes we think like that.
Wow, some very deep concepts there. One thing that I noticed in a lot of your videos is a lot of evidence of liquefied stone at some of these places. Is that not true?
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. Yes, so now I'm working with one of the top geologists in this country, and he says to me, natural forces. But I'm going to say this, and I know he won't mind me saying this. He quite recently wrote a letter to the Mayor of Gosford saying that we had rocks, not a rock, like he tells us, but rocks that weren't natural. Now, this guy actually has told me, he says, call me Mr. Natural, and he said if I found the Sydney Opera House 1,000 years from now, he would say it's natural. But we've shown him rocks that he says, oh no. Well, he won't say he has it's been applied, but what he won't say is this, he said, I cannot think of any process that can explain how rocks got to this state. So yes, there are. We've been to quite a few places. There's one place where we actually believe there was some sort of explosion from above that melted everywhere. Incredible amounts of heat, where you see every type of bizarre melted sandstone rock formation you could possibly get, and they're all in one area. It's a place where we found drains that go for 10 metres that are perfectly straight, that Nina, Gavin's close partner and friend, could sit inside, and we've got pictures of her sitting inside this drain that is that straight, and on the outside the lip is 68 centimetres on one side and 68 centimetres on the other, and it goes for 10 metres. Tell me that's natural.
Wow.
Here's the trick. What was a sluice gate like that being used in a place that no white fellas got to until about 40 years ago?
Yeah.
We found, sort of pottery shards. We found a column that's 30 foot high that's been broken in pieces. There's something, in these different civilizations, we had the indications of two different events. One is something from above, and there are original stories all over the area. Of course, we go back there again, of a huge explosion in the sky, and that's one of them. But we've also got the stories of massive water, tsunami coming up over 100 metres. We actually have found small periwinkles inside the wedges of one particular sandstone wedge there, a ledge rather, and that's 110 metres above sea level today. So we've got both things taking place there. I don't know which one destroyed that civilization. Was the explosion we found in a different place with that civilization, which we think is a mining community from way back? We're not sure. Or whether the tsunami took the first one out. It wouldn't have got the second one. The second one's way away. But it certainly probably tipped the first one, but I don't know. We're not sure.
Well, Mr. Strong, this video is coming out on Australia Day in 2014. Very, very interesting synchronicity there. So what you're basically saying is Captain Cook wasn't so much of an explorer or discoverer or adventurer. He was more of a war criminal who broke laws.
Broke laws everywhere. He broke his own law because I've read exactly what he was told to do, right? He had no right to raise the flag and claim anything. He wasn't given that right. It was very specific. He broke the law of the Admiralty and the law of what we still use today. That's why it's called the dock. He broke that law too. International law. Don't forget, Spanish and Portuguese were sailing boats hundreds of years before the British. What happened was the Vatican started to worry basically about those two countries fighting, and they basically cut up the whole of the world. They gave the Spanish the east coast of Australia, and they gave the Portuguese the west coast of Australia. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That's why we know they were there. They gave them that area before the British even had a boat. Now, that's not an opinion. We'll go back to fact there. That's an actual fact. And they knew about Australia. They all knew about what the place was, and they were allowed to come. We know the Portuguese come up where we are now. We know where they've been. The original people know all about this stuff. They know they were here. They were allowed to stay, and if they broke the law, they were told to leave. And everyone was told to leave, and they left. Only one group, when they were told to leave, didn't go, and that was the British. Everyone else obeyed the law. You see what's happening here? The only criminals in all of this, and this is an outright theft of monumental proportions that broke international law. Everyone abided by that, otherwise it would have been absolute chaos. Everyone, the Portuguese and all the Europeans, they were just like, they're going to take the rest of the world. But we've got to have some rules of engagement or beat the crap out of each other. This is how it came about. It's not just a law for one place. The colonisers had to have some code of crappy ethics, and it wasn't much, but this was the law they broke, the only one. And don't forget, the French landed in La Perouse on the other side within 2 weeks and stayed for quite some time. And the only reason they left was because they had a war and lost with the original people on that side, and quite a few were injured, and they left because they couldn't stay there much longer. They were going to kill them. If that hadn't happened, were the French going to leave? Did they accept the English way of taking this as being right? I don't think so. And the problem is, La Perouse and all three of those boats died on the way back. We'll never know the full story. But I can tell you this, the British broke every possible law within their own rules and every original law within their rules.
Do you find that we're reaching a pinnacle point, maybe an awakening of monumental proportions where they can't keep denying the truth anymore?
Yeah. Well, look, the reason that we're giving all this information up, and we've got so much of it, is simply because literally 2 weeks after I was given ceremony by Kano Walker and the original Ramangeri men in South Australia, from that point on we've been swamped nearly on a daily basis with information from all over the country. So much so sometimes we just said, look, we can't fit in. So much so that right now we're putting together a foundation and trying to raise money, and luckily people are putting money in so we can continue doing this, because I'm not exaggerating, we will get 4 or 5 really strong offers of archaeology per day, and we've offended some people because we just couldn't get there. We meet as often as we can, and we go out into some of the most incredibly difficult bush that's full of every sharp piece of vegetation on the planet. We get ourselves cut to pieces because that's where the place is, because no one goes there. That's why all this stuff is there. But we knock back so many because we just can't fit it in.
Wow.
But yes, what is interesting is it's come since that, and it's come because the original people are telling me constantly.
Would you say there's a lot of value in white people learning about the Dreamtime legends?
Every value, and nothing to be lost and everything to be gained. These were the first people. This is where the first language begins. It's where the first religion begins. There's a place up there we're working on which is called